Hi, everyone, and welcome back for another episode of Round Robin. I'm your host, Tracy Preston, along with Christine Mulligan, Nina Mulligan, Regina Lindsay, Angela Hafler, and of course, my husband, Todd Preston. Hey, everyone.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
What's up?
Hey, everybody.
Oh my God. Regina, Nina,
I was fighting. I don't know why. I was just fighting so hard to not just interrupt you in your welcome thing. I just wanted to just start screeching or something. I don't know what's wrong with me tonight. So tonight should be interesting.
Nice. I like those kind of nights.
Christine, are you off your Tourette's meds?
I've never actually been diagnosed with any of these multiple issues I probably have. So I don't take any meds, Regina. Sorry, I'm not on your boat.
I don't take any meds either. I think I'm so jacked up.
I want to get on the med boat. I'll take your med.
Yeah, being on a med boat is not a bad thing. I'm just saying, I'm technically not on it.
Right.
Because I'm 50, bitch. I'm 50, and I take no medications but Advil.
You know what that means? It means, what is the saying? Like, if you reach your 50s and you've never been hospitalized for illnesses, you're good to go.
Really?
I think so.
Well, that's good news.
Yeah.
Well, I've had 50 billion abdominal surgeries because of my desire to have children and then the problems that they caused. So I've had a lot of surgeries. I've been hospitalized for all abdominal issues.
Right.
But other than that, yeah.
But
I'm strong like bull.
Right.
Tatanka.
Oh my
I
goodness.
love it. So, I just did like that, East Coast, West Coast trip. Was working out in California this week. And I had one full day. Well, I got to stay with my daughter, so that was really nice. And Saturday, we had a whole day together. So Lauren actually came up with a great little idea that we were going to go into Beverly Hills.
Beverly Hills. That's where I want to be.
Oh, yeah. I screwed up the words. See, we're all feeling the vibe. It's good. So we drove by a couple of houses that had some pretty bad murders in them. And one of those houses, and we even got pictures of it, one of those houses was Eric and Lyle Menendez.
The Menendez brothers.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Yeah, and it was kind of weird. It's, we turned down on the street, and Lauren's like, oh, I think it's somewhere, and I just happened to look over to my left. I'm like, oh my gosh, that's it! Put it in reverse, get back there, and I don't know if anybody's ever lived in that house since that happened.
Yeah.
That was in 1989. Of course, it's all over the news right now, and I don't know if they're going to get resentenced or not. I think there's a new mayor that's kind of pumping the brakes a little bit. But they've got family support. But either way, this house is ungodly huge.
Yeah.
And it's got like a big fence up in front of it, like a chain link fence.
Who would want to live in that house? Unless you're like a true crime junkie.
I'd live in that house. Is it cheap?
Right.
I don't even think I could afford the taxes. Even if they gave the house away. Well, that's a good question. Would you guys live in that house?
Or any house.
Any house.
Any house where a brutal
No.
murder happened.
The thing is, it's not about the murders for me with the Menendez house. It's about all of the atrocities in the bad, evil juju. Because that's a very, very controversial whole conversation to have. Because a lot of people are really polarized on that whole thing. Especially if you take into account that the father was devious and evil in his own right for many, 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 many years. Mm-hmm. Lord knows whether or not the brothers were abused or not. You know what I mean? I'm not into the whole story of it all, so I imagine there's some proof, but perhaps it's not enough proof. So all over, from start to finish, that house has way too much bad juju.
Well, what was it? Wasn't it like a letter? Nina probably knows. Wasn't there a letter or something that was uncovered or that a cousin produced? A historical letter, back in time when I can't remember if it was Lyle, maybe it was Lyle, that had written a letter to the cousin, a male cousin, and they were talking about abuse.
Oh, yeah,
and that
yeah,
was
yeah.
long before
Yeah.
the murders ever happened. And I think that is what put everything on its ear and like, whoa, because they were, sentenced to life without parole. So it might happen. I mean, Nina, do you know
Yeah.
any more on that?
I haven't heard anything new other than that they may be released
Yeah.
for some reason. So I haven't heard much of, any new news, but I would live in the house. I would just bring some crystals up in there and get a smoke lamp.
Just have a
and
sage
some
bonfire.
sage.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it's a house, and if there's any juju, I'll get rid of it. No worries. Just Febreze that shit with sage. Yeah.
Do they make it stage?
The empath versus the non-empath. Yeah. No, I'll clean it up. It'll be all fine because I don't give a fuck. Meanwhile, I'd be feeling every feel up in my house. Oh my God, I'd be raging and crying in 10 seconds flat, I bet.
That's what the sage is for. I even have the white feather and everything.
And you have to wear a pretty flowy white dress.
So what's a white feather signify?
Purity?
Purity?
Is it purity, Nina?
Okay, no. I just know that in the ceremony, that's what you're supposed to use. You're supposed to use, a white feather.
Yeah, because essentially someone told her at some point.
No, I read it.
Okay, so you learned at some point you could just make all the bad vanish and poof, and it'll be gone. And you're like, I'm in. I believe it.
You say, if I think it with my mind, I can make it happen.
True story.
So why? So I'm not excluding this one house. Give me a break.
I'm not excluding it. I'm saying that's the difference between you and I, my love.
But
Well, that's it. That's the difference.
That's it. I've spoken. I know if you stick a feather in your hat, you can call it macaroni.
And there you go. there it is. Yeah, so it was just very interesting, and it's got black fabric on the fence and it's private property, do not enter. And here's the thing, this house is absolutely ginormous. And then there's this bush, these hedges that are as tall as this house, almost butted right up to the house.
Yeah, it's probably not lived in.
No, it's not lived in.
Yeah.
I mean, the hedges are trimmed. The house still looks nicely painted. I'll send everybody the picture so you guys can look at it. Because if you've seen, which I know you guys have, if you guys have seen the movie, there were a couple movies out, I think.
Mm-hmm.
They must have shot it near that house or had a replica or did something. Because that's how I noticed it. I'm like, oh, that's it right there. Anyway, the house right next to it, of course, they're all mansions in Beverly Hills. It's right up next to it. So then I kept thinking, oh my God, these poor neighbors. They must have freaked out when all that stuff happened.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so we did that, and then we actually found Nicole Brown Simpson's condo.
Yeah.
Yep, and
interesting.
yeah, and I mean it was really overgrown, and I think that kind of where the murders happened, it was out the back door, or because it's so overgrown with just huge plants, and maybe that was purposeful. And then we did the drive from Nicole Brown Simpson's condo to OJ's house. It's not a far drive.
Really?
It's not a far drive. Took us just a couple minutes to get there, maybe 5 because there's a lot. This is the one thing that's really weird in this neighborhood in Beverly Hills. It's stop sign after stop sign after stop sign after stop sign. That's what takes you so freaking long. But so as Lauren and I are driving, real nice and mosey, these rich little fuckers went flying past us at 40, 50 miles an hour and ran stop sign after stop sign after stop sign. Typical, we're that rich. We're not going to get busted.
Yep. You don't belong here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So that was our little murder thing. And then we took a horse ride up on Mulholland Trail. And my horse was named Shaggy. And his tongue stuck out the whole time.
Every picture of this horse, his tongue is just hanging out.
I've never seen a horse where their tongue just hangs out. And all I could think about was Trappa. Because Trappa doesn't have any teeth. And his tongue hangs out. So as they're bringing, because there's a whole bunch of us, so they're bringing, saddling up the horses and bringing them over. I'm like, oh, look at that poor horse. Like, it legit hung out like 6 inches from his mouth, like a tie.
If they told me that was my house, I'd be like, oh,
if that was your horse?
My horse, that it figures.
I know. Yeah, but his poor tongue was all dried and everything when we got back. I was like, oh, I just want to push it right back up in his mouth. Yeah. So that was our fun day. We had a blast. So
hey, but speaking of murder houses, guess what I saw this week?
What did you see this week?
Okay, I thought you were going to ask. I was like, how long should I wait until they say? The Amityville Horror House is up for sale again.
Is it?
What? Yeah, I just saw a quick blurb on it, so it may be true, maybe not true. I don't know, but I was like, Murder House is for sale. I don't know.
Recently remodeled.
Well, they did.
They did, actually. They remodeled the front of it so that it doesn't look the same as it used to.
Yep.
Because people were constantly coming by.
But it got new shit. It never looked like it did on the movies.
Lots of Febreze
It never
for
looked
that
like
one.
a face.
It didn't have the windows.
It didn't have the windows in the places that the windows are. And like when people think of the Amityville Horror House movie, that's what they think the house looks like, and it doesn't. It looks kind of different.
Mm-hmm.
Not totally, I guess, but it definitely is a different house than what people picture in their minds when they think of it. At least people of our age that can picture that.
Yeah, because
right.
I think the book came out before the movie, and then they patterned the house in the movie after the cover of the book, because they show the windows, the front of the house on the book.
Yeah.
Yep.
I do know that was all bullshit. That whole story was made up with the hauntings, by the way. They made it sound like
the haunting part of it. The murder happened.
The murder did happen, right? But the haunting part, that was all made up, which came out much, much, much later. But Todd's saying no.
No, I'm just thinking, a white feather and some sage. That's all you need. That's what happened. That's why there was never a haunting. Somebody went in there lickety-split with a can of Febreze and...
We're going to fix this right now. Because it does have a boathouse.
You guys know what? I never watched that entire movie.
Oh, you should. The first one is the original one is definitely the best.
No thanks. I'm good.
You just got the heebie-jeebies out of it, or what?
Well, I mean, I was really young when the movies came out, like most of us, but it was never my thing. I don't know.
Is it
which is crazy because I like the haunting things now. I don't know. Maybe I should go back and watch it, but I just never did. I never could get through the whole thing.
Yeah, I'm thinking now's the time.
Yeah.
It's time. You've waited long enough, and now you're going to have to go into it with...
You're a big girl now.
Yeah. Yeah, you just snuggle up next to Lori.
I never watched all of The Exorcist either, just saying.
What?
Yeah. I thought that was scary when I first saw it, and I still get a little heebie-jeebie because it's things with kids. Scary kids are the scariest things.
Yeah, and what was her name? Blair.
Linda Blair.
Yep. She was frightening.
Oh my God, scary kids are the scariest thing. I
Right?
need that on a t-shirt.
I'm telling you. You can put me up against a monster or a witch or anything. I can deal with that. You throw a scary kid in front of me? Nope.
Yeah, it's like that. It's like that little dead boy from Pet Sematary. He scared the shit out of me.
Oh yeah. I want to play with you.
I don't want to play with you. Nina had some action today at the house.
Yeah, she did.
What'd you get? What action happened at the house today?
I can't with you. I can't with you.
Yeah, I got a new refrigerator and a new oven. Yeah.
Why you gotta say it like you're
Okay, I'm sorry. No, I did. I got a new refrigerator and a new oven, and it's like, you're an adult when you get super excited about new appliances. I'm like, so yeah.
She was buzzing around in the kitchen all day today, cleaning and, moving things around and figuring out how she wants to, not that she's going to fridge skate, but, just fridge skate to a normal, healthy level.
I'm not going to Bridgerton theme, with porcelain plates and fresh cut flowers. Like, that's not happening. There's, way too much of them going on in the world right now to be fridge-caping people, okay? But, I guess, a new fridge, because then you get to really organize it the way you want and see where everything goes. And this one has a pitcher in the door, so I have cold water always, so I'm super excited.
That you can infuse with.
Oh yeah, I can infuse it. But actually, I just want to get some activated charcoal and put it in like cheesecloth and stick it in there, and it'll purify it even more. I just love the taste of it. It's so good. Everybody's like, is that it's the same thing as a Brita filter, but you can buy a whole tub of activated charcoal, right? And then you just bunch it up in some cheesecloth and you rinse it off, and that just like you would a Brita filter.
Yeah.
And then you stick that in the filtering process, and it's the same, and it's like 83 cents versus $6 every 30 days.
I'm sort of traumatized from being a young nurse because my only real experience, my first real experience with activated charcoal was giving it to people who had OD'd in the ER. And they all looked like they were drinking black paint. And none of that looked even remotely appealing.
Okay, somebody's got to explain what is activated. What is the definition of activated charcoal? I don't know.
It absorbs impurities, basically.
Okay, so it's like there's not like a lazy charcoal. All that charcoal doesn't do nothing.
No,
this one's activated though.
But it was like this really thick, nasty paste, and you sat there kneading this tube for 20 minutes to try to get it all mixed up, and you cut the tip off of it and made people drink it, and it absorbed whatever toxin or medication they had OD'd on, so that it didn't get into their blood, which is not really used that much anymore because by the time you give it to somebody, probably most of it's already been absorbed. But so when someone says activated charcoal, all I can think about is that.
Yeah, but
and that did look like a horror movie.
I do first go to that, and Regina, your ER is showing because it is actually way worse when it comes out the other end.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't come out. It is way worse. So I hear you. I've given it, and it's gross, and it's charcoal. Like, if you could think of mashed up charcoal and somebody that is fighting you because they're disoriented, which is why we're giving them activated charcoal, because they have a lot of toxins in their body, alcohol, drugs, etc. It's a messy endeavor. But when we get them up to the ICU, a few hours later, it's much more messier. It's disgusting.
It is disgusting. Yeah. I have the visual too. Blah.
How do we always circle back to poop?
I'm sorry. This is how it is.
Poop is good for it. Pooping is good.
ICU, but neurotrauma ICU, so none of my patients were able to swallow activated charcoal.
So you got to dump it down the NG tube.
Well, yeah, but they don't need that. Most of them had traumatic brain injuries and not ingestion. So I escaped that.
You don't have to use it for your water, but you can use it for other things too, like beauty products. You can make soap with it. And you can do activated charcoal and then get some of that pour soap, and you just grind it up in your little grinder thingy and you pour it in the soap, and then you have charcoal soap, which is great for removing blackheads and grime and stuff.
I got
But-
charcoal in my
but
toothpaste.
this conversation-
Yeah.
I made scary faces
Yeah,
at myself
you could do
after
that too.
brushing my teeth.
Yeah.
Because it's all.
It is
Can
black.
I say,
I look like I was from that movie, The Ring.
Oh, yeah.
Can I say this conversation is making me realize right now that my wife just likes to purify things and make things all disappear.
Because she's got a white feather and her little white dress, and she's gonna have charcoal everywhere. Yeah, so that's the thing. Like, if you put that activated charcoal in your water basket in your thing, wouldn't it like make all your water black? It'll stain your brand new
No,
pitcher.
No, not through.
because you put it in cloth.
Yeah.
So you put it in a filter sack. So and then you put the whole sack into the infuser, and it would just like filter through the charcoal again, which is an unnecessary step. She just wants to try it.
Let her do it. Fuck it.
I think it tastes delicious.
I'm sure it probably does.
It's black delicious.
I like it.
Delicious.
It's like a little kick.
It's an extra cleansing kick.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
Well, okay.
I want to see pictures because I don't believe it. I think it's gonna turn your shit black.
No pictures. It didn't happen.
No pictures. It didn't
So
happen.
you want a picture of my shit, or you want a picture of the pitcher of water?
I want a picture. I don't want a picture of your shit. Thank you. I want a picture
I
of.
I want a picture of your picture.
I want a picture of your picture. Picture of your picture
Picture
With-
of my picture.
with the
Okay.
activated charcoal in there because I need to see that it's not gonna stain your stuff. Because I'm worried.
Against a white background,
Yep.
because
Oh, yeah,
otherwise you
okay.
might not see.
Should I hold up a newspaper too to confirm that it is a picture?
We need a macro image. We gotta. Yeah.
Jesus.
You people are asking a lot.
Well, I mean, that's what happens when you get a bunch of scientists and investigation nerds on one call.
Yeah.
We need proof.
We need
This is
absolute
empirical
proof.
evidence.
Well, I'm happy for you because all I know is that, well, we had to do that. We got the new refrigerator a few months ago because we had to, and then before that we had to get the stove because our stove died right before Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
And
The
cooking,
day before Christmas.
yeah, cooking on the new stove is a little frightening though because it's beautiful and perfect right now.
Yeah.
And
It's extremely powerful too. I mean, the heat settings.
you got to learn your stove.
We had to relearn it. 'Cause
Yeah.
5 on the old one is not the same as 5 on the new one.
No, 5 on the old one is like number 2 on the new
Yeah.
one.
How many sandwiches have I ruined so far?
I feel
Charcoal.
one side.
But did
He's
you ruin the pans?
no, a little, maybe a smidge.
Yeah, just a little.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's a learning curve, but we're excited for you because nothing's better than getting a new stove, a new refrigerator.
It's a new toy.
You got to look at it a lot.
Yep.
Talk to it.
Well,
So
we're,
it's okay if you burn it, you just make your own charcoal. There
It's
you go.
There you go.
Daddy.
Full
Look
circle.
at you. Did you get the bespoke oven as well?
It's Samsung.
Samsung.
That's the model fridge
No.
and stove she got.
Oh no, we don't have a matching set. We have I think a GE, but it's got the double oven, so that's also really nice.
I think.
And it has an air fryer.
Yeah, we can air fry with
ability.
ours too.
Yeah, but it's nice
Yeah,
because
that's what this one has too. I'm excited to use that.
yeah, and it's nice too because you're like, and that's the other learning curve. It's like I can cook 2 things at 2 different temperatures at the same time.
Yeah.
It's great for hosting parties. Just saying. And you guys have family over all the
So I'm
time.
waiting on my invite.
Yep. So Angela, what's going on with you? Anything fun and new this week?
We made some mead, some homemade mead.
Ooh.
Todd likes mead.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like my favorite. I freaking love it. This time we only did the honey mead, but next time I think the next batch is gonna be blackberry.
Oh, okay.
But we got like the kit to make it and all of that. It was actually pretty simple. And
Huh.
it's fun to watch it,
Now I know.
ferment and bubble.
Mm-hmm.
What was that?
The honey mead it takes a lot of honey, doesn't it, to make the honey mead?
Yes.
Yep.
So I went to the local Amish store, which is literally like 7 miles away. And it takes almost 4 cups of honey. So it's basically like a quart.
Yeah.
Wow.
And you can get a quart of the local honey for like, I think it's $18, something like that. So yeah, it's pretty fun. I'm enjoying the process, and Adam made homemade beer. He got the kit. His friends got it for him for a wedding present, so
Oh, cool.
he's pretty excited about that.
Well, that's super fun.
Yep.
So 4 cups of
Yeah.
honey, right? Because that's what the
Yep.
mead is made from,
Yeah.
correct? Is honey? So
Yes.
what do you put in it to
Honey.
make it alcoholic? Or make it alcohol?
So you
When I
mix
drink
the
it,
4
that makes
cups
it
of honey.
alcoholic.
That's all Tracy's interested in is what makes it alcoholic, darling.
Yeah. So it's water and honey and then yeast. And then there's also some nutrients that you put in it. We bought those online. But basically, you can make it like my brother makes homemade wine, and he just does like fruit juice, yeast, and sugar. But this way, it's just honey, water, and yeast. And the yeast ferments it and eats the sugar and turns it into alcohol.
Okay, I
Interesting.
can't stop laughing.
Huh?
I can't stop laughing. Okay, so Tracy starts off this conversation with, "Todd loves mead." And then we go into this whole, Angela's telling you all about it and telling you how she makes it and all that, and she's being all serious. And then all I can think of is, Todd likes mead. We're doing a funny old episode. What is happening?
Well, I'm just saying.
How about for us non-Viking individuals, maybe someone would like to explain what mead is for listeners who may not know
Good
what
point.
mead is, because the only mead I know is what I used to put in my tractor keeper, and they were pockets. They were pockets
Yeah.
for homework, okay?
It's
Keepa.
like honey wine.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. It's a lot like
It's
wine.
like honey
but
wine.
it's quite sweet.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of mead. I did try it. I know.
What?
I know.
Well, she's not real big on,
Okay,
on
so
sweets.
I don't like sweet stuff.
is mead just a middle-class version of prison bowl soup?
No.
No. Actually,
It's
it
not jailhouse
originated
soup.
in the medieval times when they
Yeah, the Vikings
like,
made it out of honey, yeah?
Yeah, the Vikings and people in Europe, they would make mead just like they would make beer. That was mead, beer, wine. That's what they would make. It's a legit thing, and it's it's kind of expensive.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, no, I'm joking with you. I'm just having fun. I have heard of mead. Nina has not. Nina was like, "What is mead?" And I was like, "Let him tell you." But I'm familiar with mead. I'm just having fun because Tracy started it off with a shreddy bowl.
You know what, Nina? The next time we get together, Nina, I'll get us a bottle of mead.
Okay.
And then you can try it if you
Or I
like. If
can
you like
just
sweet drinks.
give you guys a bottle.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
Nina might actually like it because she likes really sweet wines.
Yep.
Mhm.
So she probably actually would like sweet.
She might just
I love
switch
me a
from wine to mead.
Moscato.
Yeah.
No,
Oh,
it's a
Moscato is good.
Ruscato.
Moscato?
Red. It's a red, sweet red wine. It's like communion with a kick. I love it.
I love it. Well, that's super fun, Angela. I would be interested in
Yeah.
trying, because I think Todd's brother, that's where didn't you have it from Chad? Chad made the mead?
Chad he made some honey mead.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think you tried the Viking blood though, because that's my favorite mead.
What's in it?
Honey.
I mean, what makes it blood?
Oh, it's just called Viking blood. That's the brand.
Oh,
Yeah.
gotcha.
Yep.
I think I would be interested in the blackberry, something different. I don't know that regular mead. It just made the back of my tongue feel weird.
So we went to the Nordic Festival a couple weekends ago in Charlotte, right? And I actually had 2 glasses of mead. I had a mango. It was something else, and that was really delicious. And it was cold. And then we went to another tent, and the guy was like, "What kind of mead do you want?" And I'm like, "What kind do you got?" And he told me, and I was like, "I just want the honey mead because I love it." And he was like, "Well, do you want it hot or cold?" And I was like, "You heat it up?" And he's like, "Yeah." And it was so good. It warmed me to my soul. And it was like a really cold day. So, hot mead is to die for.
Awesome.
It's so good.
Well, you know what? Maybe
not
if it
had
was
it.
hot.
Yeah, I've
Maybe
not
if
had
it was
it
hot,
hot.
I'd like it better.
Yep.
And I bet that's really good for you
Maybe.
when you're not feeling well.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, that sounds
Kind of like a hot toddy.
right.
Hey, now.
Are you calling my
That's
toddy
what I
hot?
No.
You're like, hey, y'all know.
Wait, what?
You're a good looking dude, but not, you're Tracy's dude. And I got my own dude. It's all good.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, dude.
Dude.
I got it.
Well, that must. So, how many bottles of wine? Or how many bottles of mead does that one batch make? Is it like one?
One.
Oh, holy shit!
I think it's going to make like 6.
6
Maybe
bottles.
4. I don't know. It's a gallon.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's an entire gallon.
So let me see. How many liters are in a gallon?
how many liters are in a
Oh,
gallon?
God.
Yeah.
Well, there's 1,000 cc's in a liter.
I'm thinking 4. I'm thinking there's 4 liters in a gallon.
Christina, Regina, are there 4
I'm
liters?
looking it up. Hold on.
Okay, 4 came to my mind too.
Yeah.
4 quarts in a gallon. 2 liters to
That's
a
true.
quart.
So
2
it's
liters to
1 liter is 0.264
Gallons.
What was the number?
1 liter is. Did you say 2 point?
It's 0.264.
Oh, so it's.
So it's 4.
So 1
It would
gallon
be 4.
is
4
3.78
quarts in a gallon.
liters.
2 liters to a quart, roughly.
So 2
It's
liters to a
3.78
quart.
liters to 1 gallon.
3.78?
3.78. 541.
Those are liters.
So we're obviously not mathematicians.
Apparently, pretty close.
We can do science, but we cannot do math.
I have a.
Liter is actually slightly. Well, it's because we don't really do conversions from English to metric and we do those calculations.
Right, we just keep it metric.
I
Yeah,
can give you grams to grains to milligrams, but yeah, not so much.
drams.
Gallon.
Why did they even make us learn drams? I never had to calculate anything with drams. What drug has drams?
Dramamine.
Right off the top of your
I
head.
don't want to know. Don't want to know.
I like how Todd and Nina were like Dramamine.
I've never had to calculate.
We don't
anything
want
in
no
grams
drama,
either,
drama.
but hey.
I'm sorry, what did you say, Nina? I mean, Regina?
No, I said I've never had to calculate anything in grains either, but
Yeah.
we still had to learn that as well.
Stupid.
Grains, I
Apothecary measurements.
Grains you use in
Oh.
pediatrics.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. Something.
Yeah, which none of us really did. I dabbled, but
So
I
maybe
didn't.
drams are for little babies too.
No, that's weakness.
hmm But yeah, that makes sense. I mean, yeah, I love taking care of patients that, babies, and I worked in PD when I was in nursing school in a rehab facility for brain and spinal cord injuries for children and infants. And yeah, I'm good. I don't think I want to do that ever again.
Yeah, no, I can't do peds and I can't do cancer. Oncology and peds. Never, not me.
Yeah, I don't like it. I can't. My heart breaks.
But luckily, there are people who live for that because we
Yep.
don't.
Exactly.
Yeah, thank the gods
That's
for
just not
that.
this crowd.
Regina.
Yeah.
Yeah. What
Present.
What have you been doing? What's going on with you?
I didn't get to do anything really exciting last week. was ill part of the week, but the Houston Rodeo's in town, so my daughter did take my granddaughter to her first rodeo performance, and they had a really good time.
Well,
And
that's
ate
cool.
fried Oreos and did the whole fair, the petting zoo and everything. And so my daughter sent me a video of the two of them on the big Ferris wheel. And I had a flashback because my former boss and I had our granddaughters are the same age, and so we took them on a play date, and we went to the aquarium and got on the Ferris wheel, and I realized about halfway up that I am mortally afraid of heights. And my daughter in this video is doing the same thing. She's telling her daughter, Maya, you have to hold the camera. Hold the phone. I can't look. My granddaughter's 6. And I just had to send that to AC and say, does this remind you of anyone you know? Because we were in that Ferris wheel at the aquarium when she was about 2, and the girls wanted to get up and run across because it's enclosed, and there are no seatbelts or anything to hang on to.
Mm.
And the gondola started to swing a little bit, and I was like, oh my God, sit down. I can't.
Yeah, when those little things, those chairs, those seats that you sit on the Ferris wheel, they are way too rocky. I don't like it either.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
But the view is great.
Well, these at least were enclosed. I mean, they're like more like a gondola, but still they rock a lot. And at that age, she was so small, my nurse brain went crazy, and I'm like, oh my God, she's just gonna like slip and fall between these bars, and I'm not gonna be able to catch her.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know at what point I became so terrified of heights, but I am now.
Well, I'm not terrified, but I do get that little weird feeling in my butt.
Yeah.
Like, ooh.
Little pucker.
It's in my butt, and then in the base of my neck, I get a weird feeling. I don't even know how to describe it. It's not a tickle. It's a weird. It's like,
I don't know. I used to climb trees. I used to be a gymnast. I tumbled. I was a diver. I didn't have any problem with heights until I did. And remember when we were in Denver and the fire alarm in the hotel went off?
yeah.
And we all walked out, and we're looking over the balcony rail into the atrium of that hotel. I got vertigo.
Did ya?
I don't know what happened, but all of a sudden I am a chicken shit.
Well, you know what? We were up pretty high, and that's looking over there is the feeling I just explained to you. I felt it too.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Then I don't feel quite so bad, but I still don't know when it happened because I didn't used to be this way.
Well, I'm glad you weren't on it then.
Oh, no, I wouldn't have been on it. I would,
You're like, no.
Actually, I guess, truthfully, if my granddaughter wanted to go on it, I would have been on it the same as I was when she was 2. I would have just been having a panic attack. It's fine.
Yeah.
We do things for our kids and our grandkids that we would never do for anyone else.
So what is so I would imagine, right, because everything's bigger in Texas, and we have, here in Charlotte, we have every year we have our Frontier Days and, our rodeos. So is there anything spectacular about a Texas rodeo?
So the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo is the second largest in the United States, behind the national finals that's in Las Vegas.
Really?
So it's huge. Yeah.
Huh.
And
so this is not your first
really
rodeo.
Big deal here. It's definitely not my first rodeo. I've been going to the rodeo since I was able to walk, basically. And it also is a big charitable event. So most of the time it's a lot of students that are showing animals that they raised in ag and FFA and 4-H programs around the state. And it gives away millions of dollars in scholarship money every year.
Oh, well, that's nice.
And it's pretty much all volunteer run. So there are a lot of rodeo committees. In fact, it's the only volunteer committee in the state of Texas that I've ever heard of that people fight to get on. Because everybody wants to be a volunteer at the rodeo because you can, with your committee member badge, you can get in and out of pretty much any rodeo performance that you want to.
Shit, yeah, I'd fight for that.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. We have there's always like a really great concert lineup as well. So, they have the full, like all of the rodeo events, and then at the end there's a concert. So this year's lineup that's not bad. I'll be honest with you, I don't really go that often anymore. But when I was a kid, it was the thing.
Yeah, it was a big deal here.
Yeah.
In fact,
Mhm.
I have a memory of my mother. So I'm
I know this one. This is good.
right. So we have the grandstands, right, and then that looks out into because they do the back up, smash up derby, and then they have the lassos and they're wrangling cattle and the barrel, with it zigzagging and out of the barrels and stuff.
Barrel
Well,
racer.
there was a raffle for a car, and I don't know. I think it was a Pinto, like an orange Pinto.
But it was a brand
It was
spanking
brand
new.
It was brand
Pinto.
new. My mom won. Okay, and my mom she went nuts. So she legit.
It's like she just got called down on The Price is
The
Right.
Price is Right. It was. Her arms were up in the air, flailing, and all you can hear her screaming is, "Ah!" And she runs all the way down. So the yell gets quieter and quieter, and then it gets louder and louder. Ah! She went the wrong way. She had to run back the arms still flailing in the air. That's
wow.
that's my
And, oh
best
my goodness.
memory. Yeah, from the rodeo. I'll never forget that one. That was
Oh, and
good.
I stand corrected that the Houston Rodeo is the world's largest rodeo and livestock exhibition.
The world's largest.
The world's largest.
Wow.
Well, hot damn.
30,000 exhibits.
Wow. I think that beats Charlotte.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. I mean, it is insane. You should come some year for the rodeo.
So
I'll
it's-
send you the lineup and you can pick a concert you want to see.
That'd be super fun. So it's in March, so it's not that brutally hot there.
It's about a month. So usually it starts towards the end of February, early March, and it goes through most of March. And it starts with a cattle drive or a trail ride. People from all over the state ride their horses all the way to Houston on trail rides, stop on the side of the roads and camp and all of the whole 9 yards. And then, then they all process through the city, through downtown. And they have all the opening ceremonies and all that. And then, it's about a month's worth of concerts.
Wow. Yeah.
and
Let's
all that stuff.
send that our way. I'd love to see that. So anybody out there listening, sounds like Texas is the place to be for that.
Every time I hear the word rodeo, I think of the cowboy cheese, the hanker for a hunk, a slice of cheese or chunka.
I think I remember
With
that.
the big cowboy hat, and yeah.
That's old.
Yeah. The 2024 attendance for the rodeo was 2,553,213 people.
That's nuts.
That even took you a long time to say that number.
So maybe, as a suburban raised, city leaning person, probably the only one on this call. I'm gonna say that Houston should bolster their stats, and instead of 30,000 exhibits, I'm gonna say 2,030,000, because half of those suckers that go to the fair are an exhibit unto themselves to me.
Oh, they absolutely are. They really are. People actually there's the whole Go Texan Day where everybody in the state pretty much wears their jeans and their boots, and it's a thing. Yeah, and you can do some really good people watching there, but mostly when you go to the rodeo, there's a lot of all hat and cattle going on, but everybody's dressed like a cowboy. Yeah, it's kind of like Renfest, only think Renfest, but
Cowboy style.
Old West style.
yeah, but cowboys instead of medieval attire.
Gotcha.
It's like that.
That's fun.
Out of all the people,
Yeah, I had my fair share of being involved with the rodeo when my daughter was a teenager and she was big into horses. She actually she was really good at actually training some of the horses, for the younger kids, doing the younger kid stuff. I'm not saying she was, an equestrian trainer or anything by that means, but she was dabbling in it. She was riding. She didn't want a barrel race, but she was actually helping to train some of the horses that were barrel racing at the stables that we had her horses at. And I've had a little dabble in it, and that's why I can safely say 2 million of those 2 million and some odd goers
Oh yeah,
would be zipping enough for me. It's amazing.
absolutely. It's a lot of fun, and there's an event. Have y'all ever seen this? It's called Mutton Busting. Have any of you ever seen it?
Are you busting
Did
my
they
mutton?
invite a lot?
Abuse the sheep.
I don't even know what this
No.
is. I've never heard of
So
it. Mutton chops
you
is all
know
I can think
how-
of.
yeah, right. So you know how there are bull riders and bareback riders in the rodeo, right? That's a rodeo event.
Right.
So mutton busting is small children, usually 4, 5, 6 years old, and they put them on the back of a sheep and they hold onto the sheep's wool, and then they let the sheep run across the arena, and whichever one of them makes it the furthest before they fall off wins.
That seems
And
dangerous.
they have on...
No, that's what I
they
said.
have on-
Where the kids abuse the sheep.
Yes. So they have on protective vests and they have on helmets. But yeah, so I'm watching this and I don't remember. At some point, I think my son-in-law mentioned something about signing my granddaughter up to that. And I was like, I will murder you. So the last time I went, the kid that won was a little girl. And she might have been 5, maybe 5. And the announcer in the arena comes out with the microphone and they're like, oh, you won. And the little girl goes, yeah. And she goes, do you want to do it again? And the child is sobbing. And she's like, no. And I was like, who does that to their kid? This poor child's going to be in therapy when she's 20 talking about
Yeah.
being placed on the back of a sheep and like just thrown into a rodeo arena.
You know what we need to know is what is the phobia related to sheep? Sheepophobia?
Right? I don't know. But this poor child, and, bless her little heart, she did well, but I watched that, and as a nurse and as a grandmother, I'm like, just tense the whole time. Like, I don't know who, this hasn't always been an event. And so I think probably one of the last couple of times I went was right after this whole thing started. And I'm like, what the actual fuck are they doing?
Yeah, that's devious thoughts. Let's put young children on the back of a sheep and smack that sheep on the ass.
Basically, yeah.
Okay, so Todd just looked it up. So the fear of sheep is called ovinophobia.
Okay.
That doesn't even make any sense.
I mean,
I
that
like
child's
sheep.
going to be like afraid of wool blazers.
Wool blanket? No! Well, that would be comparable to, a grown adult sitting on top of a horse and hauling ass. I mean, the power of a horse is unreal. When they go, I can only
Right.
imagine what that felt like for... At least it would be soft.
What if you have this phobia as a child and you're having trouble getting to sleep and your mom says, just count some sheep. Ah!
That was
I will say that's
cute.
pretty awful.
Well, that's interesting. I've never heard of that.
Hey, you guys want to hear something that kind of happened to me today? Actually, it really did happen to me today. So, but it's just weird because it kind of hit me like a ton of bricks. I'm doing research for the next F-bomb, and I asked Tracy, I was like, well, how long does it take before a dead body starts to smell? And she's like, hell, I don't know. I'm asking her because she's a nurse, she probably knows shit like that. But she says, look it up. So I'm looking it up, and I'm like, oh my gosh. I am looking up this kind of shit on my phone. Right? And it got me all nervous. I'm like, oh, because all that stuff is traceable, right?
Yeah.
Somebody, somewhere is going, this dude's looking up how long it takes before a corpse starts to smell.
Yep. What's in your basement?
So if Tracy disappears under suspicious circumstances and they do forensic investigation of your computer, what you're saying is
He's
that we
busted.
need to take up a collection to hire an attorney.
Call the shovel friends, hon. They'll have your back.
Shovel friend.
And I'll help you with a lot of things, but I'm not helping you bury Tracy. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's not
I don't know
right.
with that one, but I don't know.
Well, thank you.
But it's going to be like Gone Girl. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm just saying. So I sent you guys a link to Mutton Busting so you can all watch it at your leisure.
Oh, awesome.
I think there should be
And in
mutton
fact-
busting, like dog costumes. So you dress the dog up like a sheep,
Yeah.
and then it's got this little puppet rider with a helmet on for your dog. So your dog looks like it's a mutton racer.
There you go.
You know what? That sounds like a perfect Halloween costume for my French Bulldog next
Yeah, it does. I think what I'll do is I'll take that link and I'll post it in the show notes. So all the listeners can enjoy a mutton race.
The Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo Mutton Busting Competition.
Mutton busting
Yeah.
competition. Hey, maybe that's what
Literally, it is. There's prize money associated with that. These kids win. I don't know if it's savings bonds but there is some kind of scholarship or savings bond or something associated with it, even though they're basically toddlers.
Yeah, so they're going to get like $5,000. And then by the time they
Right.
grow up, they have their college paid for. It was worth
Yeah.
the frightening ride of their life.
It was worth the concussion and the
Cool, country, cool.
right, potentially dislocated shoulders. I don't know. That's all I can think about because I'm a nurse.
It was worth the risk of making a murderer.
Right. Exactly. Not to mention the TBI, right?
Exactly.
Post-concussive syndrome.
I'm glad we had that conversation. We all learned a little something new. We learned about the mead.
We learned about me.
We learned about the mutton bustin',
We learned about Nina's new stuff, new toys,
charcoal fetish,
charcoals,
charcoal.
different types of charcoals.
Yeah, yeah. So we learned a lot in this episode. So I think it's a good place to wrap it up. All right.
Wrap it up.
Wrap it up. All right. Well, thank you, everyone.
Wrap it up like a burrito.
There you go. And it's a wrap. So thanks, everyone. Please keep coming back and listening. We love it. So have a great week, everyone. And we will see you all back on Friday for F-Bomb. Have a great week, everyone.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.
Later.
Adios.
Amigos. Bye, everyone.